Although UFC used the tagline "There are no rules" in the early 1990s, the UFC did in fact operate with limited rules. It banned biting and eye gouging. Many viewers of MMA fights who are unfamiliar with the rules think that these fights in fact have no rules and everything is allowed to happen as long as it's happening inside the octagon. Those individuals couldn't be more wrong, as MMA has a bunch of rules about what's permitted and what isn't. The rules range everything from hits that are permitted or not, performed inside the octagon that isn't allowed. Today we investigate the most unlawful moves or strikes in the MMA. Hello, this is Mike and you're watching Brutal Fighters. In today's episode, we'll investigate the most unlawful moves or strikes in the MMA. Number 1. Groin shots. Groin shots are one of the primary unlawful strikes that you will see happen inside the octagon. In the event that a fighter is hit in the groin with a kick and is seen by the ref, he can stop the activity and the contender is offered as long as 5 minutes to recoup. If the fighter can't recoup after the given time, the bout can end in a DQ, misfortune for the striker, or it could be known as a no challenge. Number 2. Fish hooking. Fish hooking is the act of inserting a finger or fingers of one or both hands into the mouth, nostrils, or other orifices of a person and pulling away from the centerline of the body.
In order to fish hook, you need to insert your hand into someone's mouth and rip the skin, causing blood, pain, and certainly dispiriting your opponent.
In most cases, with the intention of pulling, tearing, or lacerating the surrounding tissue. You can fish hook the mouth, nose, even the eyes if you're a really dirty fighter. I can't think of an instance of this happening in the octagon.
Thanks, man. That would have been really hard to describe.
Number 3. Headbutts. Headbutts used to be legal years ago in some organizations. But in almost every MMA organization today, headbutts are illegal. Headbutting was regular among grapplers. In light of the fact that their ability in takedowns permitted them to rapidly move sessions to the ground, where they could assault opponents with headbutts, while not being required to modify their position. Headbutts were later restricted on the grounds that it was dangerous, and could cause deep cuts on both fighters and was a procedure that could rapidly transform the match into a ridiculous chaos. Number 4. 12-6 elbow. 12-6 elbow strikes are illicit under the unified rules of mixed martial arts, characterized as striking downwards utilizing the purpose of the elbow. Such bans were supported for the clinical and well-being reasons, because of the chance of genuine wounds to rivals that could result from their utilization. The use of a linear straight-up, straight-down elbow strike is prohibited. Any arc or any angle change from straight up to straight down makes the strike legal. Any variation of position does not alter the legality of the strike. Number 5. Kicks, knees and stomps to the head of a grounded opponent. Grounded opponent is a fighter on the ground, in contrast to a fighter in standing position. There was a time in MMA history where fighters could kick or knee their opponents when they were down, and it was completely legal. They could even stomp the opponent's head. Nowadays, with the new MMA rules, if a fighter strikes the head while their opponent is down, it could cause a stoppage to action, point deductions and possible disqualification losses. Number 6. Spiking. Spiking is also known as pile driving your opponent on their head. This is legal in WWE, but not legal in the UFC and MMA. Any throw with an arc shall be considered a legal throw, and if the opponent's head hits the canvas, doesn't matter. A pile driver is known to be any throw where you control the body of your opponent, placing their feet up in the air with their head straight down, and then driving the opponent into the canvas with force.
throwing a big knee.
Front in the air, shoot for the takedown.
Number 7. Eye gouging of any kind. It is illegal to gouge eye with fingers, chin or elbow. Natural blows or kicks that hit the eye socket of the attacker are not eye gouging and are deemed legitimate assaults. A poke to the eye will result in a brief stop to the game and could result in loss of TKO or DQ for the player.
Clearly, Kevin Burns poked Anthony Johnson in the eye.
Oh no. Oh man. Oh,
Bad eye poke.
I do poke people in the eyes, and it's very illegal, but I do it.
Number 8. Holding the fence. Holding or grabbing a fence with fingers or toes is probably the most widely seen illegal move inside the octagon. Although illegal, fighters use the fence and grab the cage to avoid a takedown or when on ground to control the position. Grabbing the cage can result in a warning from the ref, point deductions and a reset in the center of the octagon.
The eraser with the knee to the leg.
Nice hook.
The eraser.
Oh! Big knee.
Oh, she's down again.
Number 9. Punches to the back of the head. One thing that happens in almost every fight in MMA is a warning from the ref to the fighters telling them not to punch the back of the head. The reason punches to the back of the head are illegal and are not allowed is due to the severe damage it causes to the head. In Brock Lesnar's first fight against Frank Mir, Lesnar punched the back of Mir's head, and the ref stopped the fight and deducted a point from Lesnar, giving Frank Mir a chance to recover, which resulted in Lesnar's loss in that fight.
Of Lesnar.
The big question is,
He's taking
will
some punches
Lesnar
here.
just overpower Mir? Wait a second. Mazagami steps in.
In the back of the head.
He hits you in the back of the head. There's a timeout call.
Stand up.
Just a timeout.
1 point.
Oh my goodness, they take a point away from Lesnar.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and share this video with your friends. And if you enjoyed watching it, please subscribe. Alleging uncharacteristic behaviors such as severe paranoia, not sleeping for days, tearing apart their home fireplace, and believing that a tracking chip was inserted into his leg during reconstructive knee surgery. In April 2019, Ferguson's wife had dropped the restraining order, and it was revealed that Ferguson would resume fighting. Marlos Moraes evened the score with Rafael Assunção as he defeated the 36-year-old Brazilian fighter via a first-round guillotine choke to cap off UFC Fight Night 144, which took place in Brazil.
This is good for him because if he doesn't get the guillotine, at least he's on top. But he's squeezing here. That's it. There's the 2.